What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Truth and Transparency Friday Night Live, Big Live. You guys are going to like it. Again, welcome in. It's Idaho4. We have phones, barks, and bullshit. Again, Friday Night Big Live, SuperChats, sending Tommy Jude's way. We will be donating to Tommy Jude's GoFundMe. So, please consider. All right. What I'm going to show everybody here is to understand Eric Gower, whatever he wants to go by. And so, Eric, when he takes Maddie and Kaylee home, Mark went off of sounds as well as the video. Okay. And then I was like reviewing the stuff that I'm looking at, like the interviews. And I was able to ascertain from these interviews that Eric 100% came back to the area. He did not give anybody else a ride. And so we're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about where he could have been coming from. And we're going to talk about where the people that he was picking up, where they ultimately could have been coming from based off of the passive travel of this vehicle. And so what's important to understand is I went ahead and put the garden lounge in here because that's right where the grub truck was parked, was the garden lounge. And just so everybody can see, this is super, super easy. Okay. You take a straight shot here. Okay. It's Main Street. And then you'd get onto Troy, and then you would just jump on Highway 95, which really is not a highway. And then you would come in right here before you get to Louder. You're going to get to, this is Taylor. Okay. So it's literally just a straight shot and then coming down Taylor. But if you're leaving over here, the grub truck, and the bars that are like over here in this area, if you want to hit up the sororities and the fraternities, when you would be leaving, you're going to be making a left, or I'm sorry, a right, but it's our left. But and that's your way. Is this College? You can do from College Street this way, or right here, depending on if you have to hit the fraternities and sororities that are up here a little higher to then come down. And what I'm pointing out here is this is Blake. Okay, Blake. This is, again, Taylor. Okay, Blake. And then this is Nez Pierce, which takes you on over here, Sigma Chi. So based on paying attention to where Eric's vehicle is coming and going from and these time frames, we're able to tell us some stuff. So first things first. When Eric says that he's done dropping off Maddie and Kaylee, okay? I'm going to show you guys the east and west. All right. So down here, this is Taylor. Oops, went too far. This is Taylor. And there was 2 cameras that were used for Linda Lane. And the dumpster one that you guys can actually see Taylor, that's what's being used to say once a car leaves and it then is east of the camera. Okay, it's east of the camera. Or if the vehicle has not been seen on that camera, it would still be considered it's west of it. And then you're able to see from the Linda Lane camera, you're actually able to see when a car goes past Linda Lane, but then makes a left onto Blake, and it's then going to be traveling up towards either it's going to go Nez Pierce or it's going to go past it and keep going up on Blake. And then you're able to see that these all right in through here, these are fraternities and sororities. So for a fact, this is like 100% cash it. When Eric leaves after he drops them off, Eric, he waits 2 minutes and 44 seconds and he stays west of the camera. So the 1320 camera that you're able to see out and the one that goes blank for like 30 minutes that we need, that's the camera that we're using for the east and west. So it stays west. So it does not cross over. So when he pulls out and says he's just going to leave, no, 2 minutes and 44 seconds, he stays west of 1320. Then at 1 1:58 and 20 seconds. He will then travel, and the camera here picks him up. And so now he's considered to be east of the camera, and that's at 1:58 and 20 seconds. And he stays on Taylor east. Let me back this up. He stays west of the 1320 camera, but then continues to stay there until 1:58 and 20 seconds, where he's Linda Lane, the east side, and then stays there. And then 9 minutes and 31 seconds, he stays east of 1320, which means this. So after 1:58 and 20 seconds, Eric is up over in this area. Okay. Stays east of it. He's over up in that area for, like I said, 9 minutes and 31 seconds. Then it's about 2:07. From the east end of Nez Pierce, which would be right here, east end of Nez Pierce, which is right on the corner of Blake. So you're like over here, Sigma Chi. So the east end of Nez Pierce and Blake, he's there at 2:07 and 51 seconds. Now, this is what I think is interesting. When he says that he has to go pick up somebody, he had another ride that he was waiting on. Remember, Dylan texts, she doesn't make her text until 2:10, and then he texts back at 2:13, as well as telling some guy that he's on his way at 2:13. So what we're able to tell you 1,000% is that Eric did not leave like he said, all right, and went like he said, oh, I was back in the area by their house for a while, and then at 2:13, I said, I'm on my way. No. Impossible. Except for one thing. Unless he wants to say he did this, which is he would have left the area after dropping them off, comes up over here by the frats and sororities up here. Like I said, he's east of it up here. And then all of a sudden at 2:07 and 51 seconds, he's going to be right there on the corner of where the farmhouse fraternity and Blake is. And so for 2 minutes and 19 seconds, he stays west over there of the 1320 camera, meaning when he comes down, comes back, west of it means he has to pass Linda Lane. And now he's going to be past Linda Lane for 2 minutes and 19 seconds. So he leaves, he comes back, and now he's back over west of that camera, which means he's over by between, because we don't have that, the 1122 or 1112 camera yet, but we can tell you that he went past and he's somewhere over there on Taylor. He could potentially have gone up. He's over that way, over by where Taylor and King is. Then, so he pulls a U-turn up here to do all of this, to come back down around. Then he pulls another U-turn because now he's going to, at 2:10 and 10 seconds, he's going to travel east now, back on Taylor and past that camera. And that's at 2:10 and 10 seconds. Then he disappears for 25 minutes and 33 seconds. And he will then be off in this area when we say east of the camera. So let's talk about that. Now, why is this significant? Because of Dylan's text messages. So if you're driving around, he could have potentially saw somebody. So for example, let's say he drops off the girls at King, right? And then as he's about to leave there, oh, somebody was just standing on the side, waving him down like hitchhiking. Oh, hey, yeah, can you give us a ride? Or there could have been some communication. Hey, can we jump in? Can you give us a ride over to the frats or the sorority or wherever we're going? But I would think this would be pretty fresh in your mind as you were asked like the next day what you did. And you would just be able to look at your phone and truly tell Olivia everything, and then the cops everything because he just went through it. So now I'm going to show you. There was a girl that gave an interview, and she said that she was 30 minutes behind Kaylee and Maddie, and that they got a ride from the same Lyft driver. So, and that would be report 6. So, and she's at the grub truck. And the way that, and I was like, well, I wonder how she knew that she was behind Maddie and Kaylee 30 minutes. How did she know that she took the same driver? Okay. How, obviously this person she had to have talked to Eric, right? To know that. And so all this would have had to have happened before the 18th because that's when she gave her interview. At the end of the day, he's gone for 25 minutes and 33 seconds, which would mean if this girl truly got a ride back on over to either her sorority or over there to King, after he would pick her up, then he was, which makes sense that she could have potentially been going over to the sororities because when he is missing for those 25 minutes and 33 seconds, where he then poof arrives from, is he's going to be back at the corner here, coming down, like that he would be traveling this way, and he's over here coming down on Blake because he's at the corner of North Blake and Nez Pierce. And so he's over there at 2:35 and 43 seconds a.m. and he's there for 1 minute and 54 seconds and he stays over there. Then, so he would have at 2:10 some change. He leaves off of Taylor to head over to like where like the bars are basically, or where the grub truck is. Then pick somebody up there, and what should have just taken 5 or 6 minutes to get over there, then 5 or 6 minutes. Hey, this trip took him for whatever reason to get back and to be even like heard and seen 25 minutes and 33 seconds. Anyway, you slice and dice it though. Good old Eric, he's back and he's on. Where is it? Where are we? We're over here. He's back at the corner of, this is Blake, and he's right here on the corner where Nez Pierce is. So he's going to head down to be turning on Taylor to come back towards the King house. And he does that at, let's see. At 2:35 and 43 seconds, he's going to be traveling, and he passes the camera on Linda Lane, heading towards where they live, and he is back over there. He will be then west of that 1320 camera for 1 minute and 54 seconds. So he's back doing whatever, and then at 2:37 and 37 seconds, he's east, meaning that he's, after he went west to pass the camera, now after a minute and 54 seconds, he's now traveling east to go back towards either back to the bars or back over where the sororities are. Then 34 minutes and 26 seconds, he stays east of 1320 again. So just like he was missing for 25 minutes, now 34 minutes and 26 seconds he would be missing. Then here's his fourth and final trip over to the King Road area, which is, he's then, same thing as he's coming from North Blake. Okay. He's coming from North Blake, and then he's going to, at 3:11 and 57 seconds, he's there in the corner of Taylor, and he will then travel west towards the house. And he will like literally physically go back into the area of the King Road. Like, we're waiting to get, once we get 1112, it'll solidify everything, but he's back over by where the girls live, and he's there from 3:12 and 14 seconds until let's see, 3:14 and 17 seconds, and then he leaves. So the moral of Eric's story is, just to break it on down, the moral of his story is that when he is asked if he goes back there for any reason, if does he remember making any trips over there, doing anything like that, he went back there. He made 4 trips over there. And the first trip, taking Maddie and Kaylee, leaving, then coming back, leaving, and then does it again. And so, don't care what anybody wants to take from it. It's up to you guys what you want to take from it, but those are the facts. And it matches with, there's 2 people that I was able to find that took rides from him, and they said they were after Maddie and Kaylee. So it aligns. Now, let's talk about, shall we? Dylan's shit. Dylan. Okay. We're going to need, well, before we talk about Dylan shit, let's talk about one thing that the cops wanted to clear up. Everybody out there that says that the Explorer came later and that the 429 car is the Explorer. Well, I'm going to tell you that according to the police, they have that all sorted out. And they're saying that the car that came back over at 429, you can see it on the 1112 cameras, is none other than a guy. Now, this is how this happened. Somebody called in a tip, and it was tip number 3195, which I have now since FOIA'd to see how this all played out. But somebody calls in a tip. Then this tip, we don't know the date the tip came in, okay? But after being advised of the nature of the interview and that it would be recorded, this person provided the following information. He is a blank at the University of Idaho, is studying blank, and currently lives at, I believe that says 500 Queen Road, okay? Because on November 13th, 2022, he returned home at about 4:30 a.m. after playing video games at his fraternity house, which he identified as blank, later identified as blank. He parked whatever his vehicle is, okay, on blank, which is directly to the east of 1122 King Road. That's that little road, that little alley. After returning home, he took his dog out to relieve itself at about 4:50 to 5 a.m., walking to the dead end portion of blank, which is directly to the south of 1122 King Road. While out with his dog, he heard music playing from a nearby residence, as well as another dog barking in the area of 1155 King Road, but didn't notice anything unusual. Okay. Now, this tip would come in. Again, I'm waiting to get the date of this tip, because it could be the same person that wants to tell somebody about this. Like, hey, you would think that this would have come up in a neighborhood canvas. Okay. But I just want to know how this tip came in. Did the person that drove the car, hey, I just want to let you know that I came home and I got home around 4:30 and this is what I heard or saw or whatever. Then the person goes like even further to say that, hey, somebody then was knocking on my window. He returned to his apartment and got into bed. And about 2 minutes after getting in bed, he heard a tapping on the window next to the front door. And you guys, I am so convinced that it's literally the apartment that I was telling you guys about, that dog when I was there. And I showed you guys, I was like, oh my God, check this out. Look at this. There's this dog. It's right here. It's right next to the stairs. Okay. Anyways, you would think that this would have been handled way before February, right? February 7th. You think this would be handled? No. So then I said to myself, okay, well, this person clearly had to parallel park in order to park up, because then I talked to Mark and I'm like, hey, based off of this, how does that compute with you in terms of when you see the 429 car, everybody's then saying the reason that you can't see it the way that the other cars is because it pulls in and it's the Explorer. Okay. And it's the Explorer. And I'm like, well, all I'm saying to you is that this was going to be the person that was going to testify, claiming that, it's, if needed to be, that's not the Explorer that came at 429. This is the guy returning after hanging out at his frat and playing video games. Now, if you went to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, would you be like up and out of the house? Like, I would think that you'd be pretty much chilling at your place. You wouldn't have like left again. Also, this is why the neighborhood canvases absolutely sucked. Because let's take a look at this, which would be, this is the pictures that they took the next day. I don't know which one it is. Okay, I think this is, all right, perfect. Now, this is the car that I think that it could potentially be, which is, these are pictures taken between, obviously, we've seen the body cam. God, 4:30, 5 o'clock. What was it? 5:07. Let's see. Yeah, but between like 5 and 6 p.m. because this is Idaho State's pictures. And so they started from the outside in. And this was them walking around. Let me just back on out. And this is from the backyard. Okay. But we have to go and check, like, and the reason I say this is because, like, if somebody would have, this is the only car that in my opinion looks like it. It's like a Honda Pilot. Like, it's like a 2018, 2019, 2022. If you zoom in, you can see this is a Honda. The hubcaps, and it's a newer one. But that's what we got. Okay, now I have a question. If this person was able to park at 4:29 and some change with like no issues to just pull up and let's say like park like this on that side, why was there anybody making a 3-point turn at 4:05 to like try to find a parking spot? Like, it almost seemed like they didn't know where to park and they were looking for a parking spot. But yet, like on that side hill, like there was just this spot waiting, So let's go to a body cam when Gunderson arrives. Let's look at his body cam. Gunderson gives us a pretty, let's see what we got here. Where's the little Gundy at? Oh, wait. Okay.
Again. We get everybody walking it. Yeah, they wrap around that log and cut back.
Actually, I want to show you something else too. I'm over here. Okay, boom. All the interviews that they're talking about, we share a chain link fence. Do you see how that's the only house right there in front of us? That's actually the house that's fenced in. Okay. So I'm able to put the people that talk about this, that they share a fence. I talk about like, yeah, my backyard butts up to like from the fence. That's anybody that's saying that's coming from this house right here. It's not the house that's next to the right, and it's not the 1112. Okay, it's 1000% this house because this is the only house that's actually has the fence for the yard. That's the only way that you ever make that statement. We share a chain link fence. Like, all right. So let's go back to. All right. This is at noon.
Nothing down there though. There's
This is him walking up. And as you can see here, the Honda is not there. Okay. But in the time frame of from right now until I thought this was all closed off once like that big ass, I don't know, ISP vehicle got there with the trailer. But that Honda isn't there. So it comes back there sometime at night. But there is this Trailblazer. There's like I think there's another better version. Let me see. Oh, there's Murphy. The reason it's important to look at it this way is because everybody wants to compare it to the Explorer and the side of the lights, like the. I'm gonna try to pause it here. Okay, right there. Okay, got it. That portion of the side of the Explorer, how the lights are, the tail lights and all that jazz, right? Well, I think that Honda is as good as and as close as you can possibly get to that. I told Mark, here you go. Do what you do. See what you think. Okay. Also, I told Mark back in the day that I believed that Bethany's vehicle, I'm sorry, Maddie's vehicle could be the one that's actually speeding away. And I'm going to tell you why I'm even leaning more towards it now. When Eric Rower gave his interview, people don't lie about everything, okay, when they're giving an interview, or you don't forget everything. But he was the one that said that there was only 3 cars in the driveway. 3 cars. And he remembered out of the 3 cars that the Explorer was parked the way that it was. Okay. I'm waiting to hear his second interview versus just reading the material. And that would mean that a vehicle was not there. And so could a vehicle have been parked somewhere out on the street? Because based off of the way that the car is like speeding off and zooming away, it couldn't have come from the from being parked in this parking lot. But if the car was actually on the street, then it could have. Also, because knowing that Bethany and Dylan, even though they didn't have a car, they drove. That's what I was listening to in their interviews. And whose vehicle would you drive if anybody's just going to be your roommates? So I want to know, and then that goes hand in hand with why the investigators were looking into the infotainment centers of these the victims. Why? So now these are just things to think about. The barks and the bullshit. Molly, you son of a bitch. Okay. Molly, let's talk about your bullshit. A little cute dance star. How come these handles are so different? I don't even know who's commenting. I don't even know who's commenting. Let's give a shout out. Janine, welcome new member. Thank you. Kathleen, $2. RC 3340499 super sticker. Jackie, 19.99 super sticker. Sherry, what is up? Sherry, hopefully you're doing well, hon. Kathleen, Soul Warrior, yes. Tommy's family, they're raising money for a funeral, so we want to give what we can. Curious Cat, hi. Thank you. Kathleen, thank you. Drew Bledsoe. Is that like, I used to love him as a quarterback. Tune into Birdie Show at 9 for the truth from me. I don't even, what? Who goes and self promotes like that? Yeah, that's really bizarre. Tune into Birdies at 9. I don't even know who this is. I honestly don't even know these names anymore. Did YouTube change these names again to go back to your handle or something? Merry Christmas to you, Hoppy Master. Thank you. Dana, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Did your name say the same? I know, right? I don't even know who this is. Who's this? I'm like, who is this? I don't even know who this is. They've changed it again. Chris, you're still hard. We got you. Sarah, we've been doxxed. This is doxing people? Is it really? Is it like your emails? Somebody says you can go switch it up. You can go to your profile, click edit, and change your handle to match your username. It will stop all the crazy name stuff. Oh, there you go. It's so weird. Yeah. Anyways. All right. Molly. Okay. The past couple days I was going back over, James Patterson's book. And because you can actually learn a lot from what, like, James Patterson's going to put his name to something. He's going to say that this is where the information's coming from. It can remind you about things. And so it reminded me when I was going through this again, because I swear, like, you just start forgetting things. Or not that you forget it, but you got to go back and put it in your timeline. And so one of those things was Lexi Pattinson. And it always struck me as odd that she wanted to talk about Emma and that she thought Emma could potentially be involved in this until she found out that there wasn't drugs involved or they didn't die from drugs. Then it's like, wait a second. If you knew these victims, did you have an inkling that they did drugs, that would ever even be a thing? You get what I'm saying? Or that they had drugs there? Like, how does Emma play into this at all? Well, that's telling me that you believe that Emma is involved with the dealers, okay? And that you believe that people at this house were doing drugs. Okay. Or were involved in pushing drugs. Otherwise, you just would never just... God, the only silver line I can come to, she said, is that a girl that I went to high school with, and no, Emma Bailey is not involved. It's like, what? Like, what? Like, just something weird to say. And then so I took another peek again at where Emma, where her family lived, and it's right back there. And it's right along those paths over there where, your car, they're saying that a car is leaving Molenta and traveling around back over there and then coming back and going and coming and going. And that's all over right by where Emma's family lived, where she stayed, where she had a bedroom if she wanted it, you know. Think about how you were when you were 20 or 21 or however old. And yeah. So now people are really like territorial about their shit. And if I believe everything that Dave told me, right? And he's like, yeah, we knew who these people were, and yeah, these people could get things, and it wasn't like we were hardcore, like they were. Nobody was hardcore drug like sellers or like over here strung out or something like that, but partying for partying. And I went back to my notes with Dave, and I said, well, how did this stuff always go down? You know, people driving stuff around, you have to go pick it up. How'd that all work? And yeah, no, I mean, yeah, drive it to you. Sure. So you see these cars always circling and driving back, and that would be normal if you want to like score something. Okay. So here's Molly. Here's good old Molly. And you're going to sit here and tell me that we have a girl who thought Emma Bailey could have been potentially involved in this because of drugs. We have Molly, who is according to the Pullman Police Department, a meth user. All of her friends are meth. They're drug dealers. And we're putting all of this happenings all around the house around the time of the murders. And you have a dog that's barking for 45 minutes straight. And you have 2 surviving roommates. And it's just the most bizarre coincidences. And it has nothing to do with anything, because a serial killer came to the house that night and picked that house and saw one of the surviving roommates and didn't do anything. And that's just how it is. And like, that's just normal. Well, I don't know about you guys, but have you guys watched the Holly Bobo past 2 days of this ridiculous hearing for Zach Adams to get a new trial? Holy shit. Okay. We have people that were addicted to meth and being pinned up for the murder of Holly, right? Come to find out, no evidence whatsoever. Everybody is lying. Okay. Everybody is so fucked up on drugs that nobody can keep a story straight. You have the prosecution that's prosecuting people that they know damn well didn't do this case. And then you have a defense attorney that's admitting to the fact that I couldn't even defend him because it was just, I had no trial strategy. It's unbelievable. It's just wild to hear like this stuff. I asked for a continuation. I thought this is a death penalty case. They decided, they want to make a death penalty case. There's just so many things that you can't even like, it's just, why didn't I ask this question? I have no idea. I should have. I was incompetent. I mean, over and over and over and over. Just wild shit. And then the day before yesterday, the special prosecutor, when she had to testify, she said, that defense attorney, she knew the case better than I did. And that's a lot for me to even admit that. Like, but she spent so many hours on this case, was trying to find any little thing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, because then today happens, and here the special prosecutor, yeah, take that. The defense attorney is saying, I sucked. I absolutely sucked. I sucked. You guys got to go listen to this. It's just, but then she brings up the fact that she thought that she was going to get this continuation, and she doesn't get this continuation. And that discovery was just literally handed over and shit was everywhere. And they're like, well, why didn't you organize it? You guys, you can't make this shit up. Anyways, it made me start thinking about this case and Richard Allen's case. But the reason it made me start thinking about this case was because of asking for, more time. Like, with like the whole discovery. And it's like this. Ann Taylor was asking for things. If she wasn't asking for things, she wasn't going to get it. She literally wasn't going to get it. And Ann Taylor made over 400 requests for different things. So here's Molly. Molly arrives at 3:46. And from 3:46 and 40 seconds to 3:48 and 45 seconds. Let's go ahead and take a look like this. Again, Molly doesn't come forward to say, hey, I was the DoorDash driver. Hey, no. It happens in a geofence. Like, it happens because of technology. All right. So, right here, 3:47 to 3:49, 1 minute and 49 seconds. There are screams heard from inside 1122 while Molly walks up the alley. Then there's this sound of a house door closing, sound of a house door closing, sound of a house door closing. Again, 3:53 and almost like it's like back to back. 3:53 and 54 seconds, 3:54. And then again, 4 minutes later at 3:58. All right. And what this tells me, and I'm telling you, I'll go to war with a motherfucker. Okay. It looks like somebody went into the house, right? Stayed for what, 4 minutes, then left. I don't see how, since we have the camera, we know that nobody's coming in and out of the door right in front of us on 1112. What's this? What's going on right here? What's all this? And then remember, Molly goes down and takes a stroll down and comes back, right? And we see her on the camera at 3:51. So how about when Molly gets out and let's see, the brake light stays on right here. How can a brake light stay on if somebody just got out of the car and it's only one person in the car? How does that happen? It doesn't, unless there's another person in the car, right? 4 dog barks, and this is while Molly walks the alley. Sound of house door closing. Molly literally clicks her button to say she's delivered the food at 3:59. Look at that. Also, Molly said that she went there, 2 other times. Well, if Molly is the 103, because I said, what about the 103 a.m. car? Then she dropped off 3 people. Otherwise, her car is never seen on the 1330 cam from 104 to 3:46 a.m. How come the police, Molly, how come they are so adamant that they made like these loops around Queen Road Apartments, right, to take food? And then the cops were doing like their loops, whatever. But yet, no Molly and no cops. Then let's see. Where's my... Oh, here we go. I'm going to show one more thing. see. We're going to bring in this again. Okay. Dylan, what the fuck are you doing, Dylan? Okay. Now, the cops would have had this. So we're really going to talk about something here. Bethany's on the left, Dylan's on the right, okay? No phone activity, supposedly, allegedly, at all between 3:51 and 4:19 that we know of right now. So that's why nada, okay? Supposedly, music is playing. Now, according to Dylan, music is playing, and she was hoping that Kaylee would just shut off the music, okay? Well, how can I confirm that they went back after Dylan said about music being played? That's when on the 19th of November, they went and got the kitchen speakers. That's the picture I went and found out to what date that was. Take a picture. Yep. They went and got the little kitchen speakers. Thanks to Dylan. Okay. Now, the biggest part, again, I have to emphasize this, is that it is Bethany that calls Dylan. Bethany calls Dylan at 4:19 and 33 seconds. Or, I'm sorry, at 4:19 and 7 seconds to 4:19 and 33 seconds to tell her, hey, did you just hear that? Did you just hear that? That firework, that boom, bang, okay? This is what was exculpatory, is that it was Bethany called Dylan to tell her this. So then the question at trial would have been, Dylan says that she hears, oh, Kaylee, it's time to go to bed. She sees Kaylee's going to go to bed because it's 4 a.m. She's taking Murphy up, whatever. And that, okay, I'm going to go to bed now. That is what she says to Mitch Noonans. It's there. Listen to it. You cannot miss it. She also tells Mitch that she did not hear what Bethany heard, and she makes it seem like that she calls Bethany because she's like, I heard Kaylee say there's somebody here, and then she comes running down and blah, blah, blah. And then, well, it's like, now put this new timeline in, which is Bethany called you first, which means after Bethany called you, is that when you heard there's someone here? Did you hear that before that? Did you hear there's somebody here before that? Now, the other thing you need to look at is the dog barks. The reason that also Bethany would have called Dylan is because the dog is barking crazy. Also, we've had so many noise complaints in that area. How could none of those people call the police and talk about the dog barking and going berserk from 4:15 until 5? Do you understand that nobody says anything about the dog barks on day one? Why I think this is important is because do you guys know that Dylan, Bethany, every single person that was interviewed day one, they all had access to the 1112 King Road cameras. They had access to that app. They could have listened to all of that, watched all this stuff. Like, let's look at all this stuff. You don't think that they're going to look at any of that stuff? Then, after Bethany, in which, by the way, DM and Bethany are saying that neither one of them remember what they talked about on the phone ever at any time I talked on the phone. But after this whole, hey, this phone call, then DM calls Xana first, which you would point out as if you thought it was Kaylee, why'd you call Xana first, right? Then DM calls Kaylee, and then DM calls Bethany back for 41 seconds. Now I want to point this out. The car sped away on the 1112 cam 420 and 47 seconds. So you have to get out to the vehicle to be able to then get into the vehicle to then for it to speed away. So what I proved before is that it's all fucked up with when she's saying that she saw anybody. The person's no longer in the house if they are in that car. Okay, because then, ready? I purposely show this car speeding away and have this gray because then Bethany calls right here, her first move outside of talking to DM, as you can see. She calls Xana at 4:21. We don't know how many seconds because it was off of her call detail records. It wasn't off of a. It's not. It's interesting. Then DM called Maddie. Then Bethany received a text from DM saying no one is answering. Well, my question is when you're saying no one is answering, when you called here and talked to her after Kaylee and Xana didn't answer, now it's supposedly no one is answering because it's Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and that would be all of her roommates. You know, no one's answering. But that was only after texting one or calling Maddie. But I was also showing you guys that none of these overlap. Okay. So at 4:22 and 8 seconds, Bethany receives a text from Dylan that's saying no one's answering. And then she says, I'm really confused. And what Ann Taylor was going with that is that Dylan is super confused because of what Bethany heard and saw, not what Dylan heard and saw. In my opinion. Then Bethany calls Maddie, calls Ethan. Now, we're going to get into showing the dog barks. Okay, at 4:22 and 48 seconds to 4:23 and 23 seconds, which is 35 seconds, the time frame that Dylan's freaking out. So Dylan's over here. She's saying, right there. I'm freaking out right now. Right here. Well, if you listen to the 1112 King Road camera, okay, it matches exactly with what Mark has found. And he said that you can hear screaming loudly out of control from 4:22 and 48 seconds to 4:23 and 23 seconds. And only BF was texting during this time frame, not DM. So, and he believes that she's freaking out because she had to see one of the bodies. Because it matches perfectly. Because after, so he took what I had here and then was listening to the noises. And he took what I had and these timestamps with the phones next to each other. And then, oopsies. And then he did the noises in the house. Okay. So when you look at that time frame between 4:22 and 48 seconds and 4:23 and 23 seconds, I'm freaked out right. I'm freaking out right now. See how it says BF sent to Dylan, sent to Dylan, but then here BF received. Remember how their norm is to go searching, like they're gonna go look through like they did when their house had the door wide open. They're gonna go looking around. I've always said how that's your norm. Um, the screams are difficult to hear among the dog barks, but they are there. Below are her screams by the second. During the screams, the dog barks only one time per timestamp, as it may be confused by this, the dog. And so, but he was really honing in on the dog barks, which is when Dylan's screaming, the dog barks is only one, and the dog isn't going like in its bundles, which is interesting. Now, let's go like this and look at Dylan looking out the window to potentially see a car with its running lights on, something of that nature. And she does that when she gets down into what's her name's bedroom, supposedly, allegedly. But I personally think that she's looking out the window of right there in the living room, because it doesn't make any sense. Because here you go. The first time that she could be possibly, okay, hey, Bethany's saying, come to my room, run down here. That's at 424, 424, 424. DM. Before that says phone is going to die. Fuck all that shit. Then she calls EC. He doesn't answer. And then Dylan then writes back to Bethany, I'm so scared right now. And then Bethany says, it's better than being alone. Okay. Now, there will be 2 minutes of no activity, okay, from DM's phone, but Bethany's goes 4 straight minutes of no activity. All right. Look at that. So Bethany's phone over here on the left at 4:24 and 27 seconds. After she sends that text, run down here. When DM sends the message back to her saying, I'm so scared right now, it's better than being alone, Bethany does not answer. Okay. Does not answer. Look at this. Does not ever answer that. Okay. So, and it's because, I mean, would you be writing somebody like once they're in your presence, you're not texting them back saying, it's okay, like, you know, or something like that. But according to Ann Taylor in the state, I want you guys to take a look here. The state and Ann think that DM is now in Bethany's bedroom at 4:27 and 11 seconds. Okay. DM places an outgoing call. We don't get to ever know at this point who that was to at 4:27, 11 seconds. Then DM does an outgoing message on Snap. I think this has to do with Ethan and the outgoing call, and it's Snap outgoing. DM outgoing message on Snap. Then DM calls Kaylee. Then no phone activity here for a minute for her. Then DM calls Xana. Then Bethany on her phone. See how nothing is overlapping? Okay. Something that I think is weird. Then Bethany calls Maddie. Then Bethany calls Maddie. Then Bethany calls Kaylee. Then Bethany calls Kaylee. Again, no overlapping. And then DM texts Kaylee at 4:32 and 57 seconds, right? And then Bethany's access on Snapchat. So here, according to Dylan, though, she's more like up in the room right after the 4:25. Like that's their whole thing, that she's in the room at 4:25 and 16 seconds. And I think that the reason they really, really believe that is because there's no more texting between the phones. And they're saying it's because they're in each other's presence. Well, then right here is where you get into the whole, how is that possible because there's no car with its running lights on that she could have seen. Because what car would that be then? If she doesn't get into Bethany's room until after 4:25, the vehicle that left at 4:23 would have already been long gone. Also, Dylan says, it's so bizarre. Ready for Dylan? She's like, I mean, I woke up in Bethany's room. Like, that's what's Dylan's like big, like, I know that this stuff had to have happened because I woke up in Bethany's room and then I looked at my phone and I have all these text messages. Okay. Well, there's a report out there that somebody sent me a video of somebody snoring on someone's bed, and they were like, and I was trying to listen to the video if I could hear any like music playing or anything going on in the background. The only thing that would matter is if that picture came from that house. When somebody would be like, I was trying to listen to see if I could hear anything in the background. I can't wait till we find out who is the person that was laying on a bed and snoring and what timestamp that was. It came out in the first 25 reports from Idaho State Police. If you want to go check it out. But neither one of them. Okay. So let's back up. Now I'm going to go and play a portion of Dylan telling Mitch Noonans some stuff. Now that we've kind of heard things, saw this. Yeah, Dylan nor Bethany went to sleep that night, according to their phones. That's going to come out, which means that there's steps on them. And also it means that there's manual, like the activity that's on their phone had to be manually handled. Don't you think if Xana would have went downstairs and got a DoorDash, like, you think that Xana's the type of person to be quiet or loud? Like, oh my God, like, where the fuck's my DoorDash driver? Like, where the fuck is she doing? Like, look at this dumb bitch. She's over fucking here. And she's walking over there. What a meth head. You know, like, don't you think like Xana would be like, I know that, I think that she'd be that type. She'd be like laughing. She'd be like, what is going on? Like, look at this. Look at this. You know, I can't imagine like Xana just being quiet as a mouse and then just like, oh, look, I just got my message. I can go down and get my food now. You know? Okay. So, yeah, don't believe it. I think that anybody would be ready to be like, what is this dumb bitch doing? What the fuck is she doing? Come on. All right. I want to hear Dylan tell Mitch Noonans what's up. Okay. Nobody mentions any dog barking until they are.
That man right there. That helps so you.
They're big on there.
Yeah, that's when you told us you need to call the cops.
Okay. Do you mind just waiting over there for me, please? Okay. Now I overheard you talking about last night.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to, the more we know right now, the better. We can start this process.
Yeah.
Somebody will probably be revisiting this interview with you very soon. Again. Okay. So you're probably gonna have to retell the story quite a bit.
That's fine.
All right. What do you remember seeing? What started
I remember I was in my room and I was trying to go to bed and I heard Kaylee, who ex-girlfriend who has a dog in her.
Real fast, which one was your room?
Kaylee.
So just you're probably gonna have to retell the story quite a
That's
bit.
fine.
All right. What do you remember seeing? What started?
I remember I was in my room and I was trying to go to bed and I heard Kaylee, who
See, like, I was trying to go to bed. I wasn't like I was woke up out of a dead fucking sleep.
ex-girlfriend who has a dog in her.
Real fast, which one was your room?
Kaylee.
Which one is your room?
Oh,
What room are you in?
Not Xana's room. My room.
And your room is this one right here.
Next to stairs. That one is Xana's room.
Second floor room.
Second floor.
Okay.
All I heard was I heard go upstairs. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now because she's going upstairs.
And you heard who go upstairs?
Kaylee and the dog Murphy.
See, she heard her say, "I'm gonna go upstairs now. I'm gonna go to sleep now." Like, she heard her say that. Why is she even saying that if she didn't hear her say that?
All I heard was I heard go upstairs. Like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now because she's going upstairs.
I'm gonna go to sleep now because she's going upstairs. Like, what?
You heard who go upstairs?
Kaylee and the dog Murphy.
And upstairs to the very top?
Yeah, that's where her room is.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden I heard her walking up. I heard her scream, and she ran downstairs because she saw someone. That's what I'm pretty sure she said. Someone's here, and she screamed and just ran downstairs. And I called for her name, but I jumped up and locked my door because I was so scared.
Okay, now, according to all of this now, that would mean that this had to have happened after Bethany called her. Okay? Let me tell you why. If this happened before Bethany called her, right? Then it would be Dylan calling to like alert Bethany to this. Does anybody understand that? Listen to how she says this. Like, what Dylan is leaving completely out is that, Dylan, you were called by Bethany. Why the fuck did Bethany call you? That's when it all would have started. So, hey, I got a phone call from Bethany. Bethany asked me if I heard a fucking firework. And I'm like, what are you talking about? No. And then all of a sudden I hear this. That's what you would be saying. But she's like, no, this is how it starts off. Nothing to do with Bethany. Nothing to do with Bethany alerting to the situation of, did you just hear that firework? Is that a firecracker? Did you just hear that?
And then I heard someone in the bathroom, and I heard her crying, and I heard some guy say that you're going to be okay, I'm going to help you. And I kept calling her name, but she wasn't answering. And then I opened the door for a second, and I saw this guy, and he was not insanely tall, but he was wearing all black and like this mask.
See, then I opened the door for like a second, and I saw this guy. She didn't say, I opened this door 3 times. Like, think about it. This is your truth. This is the truth of this is not somebody that can have talked to everybody else. Like, this is your most accurate. I'm sorry, but this is going to be the most accurate. You're not able to concoct anything, I open up my door and then poof, he's just there.
Covering his forehead and his mouth. And I locked the door and I called, and I didn't know what to do.
I locked the door. Then I locked the door and I called Bethany. I didn't know what to do. I don't call 911.
4 a.m. Yes. Okay. And so then I just ran down.
You left here?
I left my room down to. She's that one with the white blinds at the very bottom. Okay. I ran down there and we talked, and we just locked the door. We didn't think anything of it. We're like, nothing happens in Moscow, so we just like tried to go to bed. And then we woke up, and it was weird because none of our roommates were up, and we called all of them. They were not waking up, and so we
called all of them. There's not a single phone call from Bethany to anybody in the morning.
Like, this is weird. So I called and come over, and then that's when all this happened.
This is Dylan's initial police interview. She would later tell police that she believed the woman crying that she heard was actually Xana. And despite reporting by other outlets that Dylan's...
While you do that, I'll turn off my lights here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. What time did you get here last night?
Can I check?
Yeah.
Right there, Patriots. You guys, why is she wearing a Patriot shirt? Why? I'd be dressed in my pajamas. Go Pats.
While you do that, I'll turn off my lights here. I'll be right back. In the dark. Okay. What was going on at about 124?
And my friend watching videos.
You.
What's that car right there?
Yeah.
What's that? Here you go. Go get it. Go get it, Mark.
Okay. Watching Vampire Diaries.
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. This is one of my friends.
Okay, so you guys watching Vampire Diaries out in this main, the second level? Okay, and then for how long?
I don't know. And then Maddie and Taylor came home from the club. And then we all hung out in Taylor's room for a little.
So Maddie and when they were there? Probably till closing at least? Okay, and then they came home at about what time?
Like 2, bro.
It's okay. You're doing great.
Like 2.
So they did get home at 2?
Yes.
How do you know that?
I just have a picture of Kelly's room with Murphy.
Okay. There's no way that during that little short time she went and was like, oh, let me go and look and see what time I was taking pictures at. I have to go check out my phone. Oh, let me just look at my pictures that I took last night. Okay. And then I look at my pictures and I'm just like, okay, hey, we were in Kaylee's room. Here, I took this picture at 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? Like, just because that picture could have been. So, like, literally, like, they're ripping pictures because she says 2. So, like, they would have ripped a picture between 1:57 and 2:00 in the morning, and they're already in Kaylee's room, and she's ripping a picture on Kaylee's bed at 2. I'm just like, damn. I just want to see what she's doing with her phone one more time.
Like 2.
So they did get home at 2?
Yes.
How do you know that?
I just have a picture of Kelly's room with Murphy.
Okay, then what happened after that?
And then me and Maddie took out Murphy, and then
Murphy's the dog?
yeah,
Okay.
and then I went inside to go to bed, and she was still taking him out. And then I was in my bed, like, about to go to sleep, and Maddie just said that she lost Murphy. Like, she was, like, and was wondering if he was with me, and I just said no. And then I went to bed.
And what time do you think you fell asleep?
Right there, I cannot believe that it is an ask. She tells it to us. Boom. Maddie lost Murphy. Boom. Then now here we are to this day right now, and we have a dog barking 483 times, which is that dog outside. No way to get in. The sliding glass door would then be closed. Okay. All the doors are closed. And can this dog not get in? This dog is lost. But I'd been like, wait, what do you mean Maddie lost the dog? Like, but here, it's an important part of the story. Yeah, Maddie lost the dog. The dog's missing. That makes the first round. That's a big thing. And then here, all this time later, And Taylor does not. I mean, I would have wrote the number 483 times the dog barked from 4:17 until 4:30. That's just till 4:30. 4:17 to 4:30. 483 barks. It's a lot of barks. That's a lot.
Maybe 2:30.
Okay. What time did you wake up at all between 2 and...
I heard something like loud and Murphy like bark. Like usually like he bark.
I heard something loud and Murphy like bark. Exactly. Murphy's barking woke you up, Bethany. It's 100%. And like it would anybody, okay? That is what triggered everything. And then you called Dylan. So think about this. After you called Dylan, the question is to Bethany. Bethany, when you called her the first time, Dylan, and you told her this, she didn't say, "Oh my God, I just saw a masked man," did she? No.
And then I thought I saw like a firecracker, so I thought someone maybe was just drunk and like put a firecracker in the house.
How could you see a firecracker in the house? Was your door open? You know what I'm saying? Like, was your bedroom door open?
But I wasn't even really sure because I was kind of still asleep, so I wasn't sure if it was like real.
And I was kind of still asleep. No one's talking about anything drinking. I get it. Maybe they don't want to talk about the whole drinking things because they're underage right now. So you're not going to talk about that, which makes total sense. Like, I mean, like you would do that. That makes, I'm down with that.
Okay. So, I'm sorry. I had listening to a couple things at a time. Loud, you thought you saw a firecracker because of a quick flash?
Yeah, through like my door, but I was like still half asleep, so I don't know if it was like real. I thought it was maybe a dream.
She saw a flash.
Okay. And then, did you ever like, pick up your phone to see what time that was? Or?
Okay. Oh, maybe I might have called her and asked her what was happening, because sometimes we hear things and I'll call her and be like, "Oh, what was happening?" She's just Ethan.
Bethany.
Oh my God, right there. Oh wait, you know what? Let me check because I may have called Dylan to see what was happening. Like what was happening. Let me check. Oh yeah, like listen to how she answers that.
Was
okay. Oh, maybe I might have called her and asked her what was happening, because sometimes we hear things and I'll call her and be like, "Oh, what was happening?" She's just Ethan.
Bethany then described.
I tried to call Maddie and Ethan and Xana and all them at like 4.
So you called.
Why? Okay, then she does this. She just said the name Dylan, that she'll just call Dylan. Why does she go and say, "Oh, this is when I called them"? Why doesn't she want to show when she called and talk about when she called Dylan? She doesn't want to give that time up. It's because she doesn't know. Why wouldn't she just stick with finding out what time she called Dylan? Why does she say, "Oh, this is when I called so-and-so"? You guys, I'm telling you that's not normal. The guy is trying to get a timeline. You just say, "Oh, sometimes I'll call Dylan and just let me," and then, "Oh, here I called Maddie and Ethan at this time." What is that? That's what's fucking with everything.
I tried to call all of them.
Maddie? At what time?
4:30 and 4:22.
4:30, 4:22.
And then 4:21.
Why aren't you saying that you called Dylan at 4:19? Because they're trying to hide the fact that Bethany's phone, she's hiding the fact that she called Dylan first. That's the issue.
And then Ethan at 4:22.
What time did you call Dylan?
And then Kaylee at 4:31.
She doesn't even say Dylan's name. What time? Which she doesn't mention Dylan one time. She doesn't say I was able to talk to Dylan. We're talking during this time. She doesn't say that I was texting Dylan. What?
At 4:31?
Yeah.
So no answer, and then did you go to sleep after that?
Yeah, I just kind of fell asleep again. I was like half awake.
Okay. And then what throughout your day did you got up at what time today?
I like woke up because my jaw was feeling really bad. I took some Advil at like 6 or 7, and then I just went back to bed. So I figured no one would be up anyways. And like, I didn't wake up until we called you guys.
Okay.
I didn't wake up until I called you guys again. Woo-wee! Damn. When you listen to it again, it's just like, whoa. Holy shit. What a story. Welcome to the transparency. Rest in peace, Tommy. Yes, thank you. Oh, see, I don't even know. Stargaze. I have all these new names now, but they're really not new names. It's just new ways that they're saying your guys' names. I don't even know. So, Stargaze. Carson, I know you, the mom of Carson Taki. Prayers for Tommy's family, and thank you, Lana, so very kind. Yes, we are gonna try to raise some funds to help the family. People deserve proper funerals and celebrations of life. Elbows mom, first time catching you live. Oh, okay, UK. What time is it there? It's got to be super late now. You're super friendly over there in the UK. Just popping in for a bit. I'm on my way break from work. Appreciate all your hard work. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Happy Friday. September Virgin. Now it's Virgo. Hey, gorgeous Anna. Much love and respect. Yes, Tommy Jude. Yes. Toward combat boots when you go to war. Thank you. Thank you. Jiggles and Wiggles gifted 5 to the transparency memberships. Thank you so much. Lola, thank you so much. You're super kind, super sweet, super nice, super nice. You guys are. Again, Dylan wants to stay away from things. It's obvious. I don't understand why you wouldn't. I mean, I'll never get over the Patriots scrub. Tom Brady, actually.
Moscow 70. Can I get the time this call was generated? Copy. Thank you. All right. Remember seeing anybody in there that wouldn't belong?
Downstairs the whole time with my door locked. That's why I always think of it.
In there that wouldn't belong?
Downstairs the whole time with my door locked. That's why I always think of it.
Okay, boom.
All right. Remember seeing anybody in there that wouldn't belong?
Downstairs the whole time with my door locked. That's why I always think of it.
Nope, I was downstairs the whole time with my door locked. I didn't see anyone. You understand that? When's the part she's gonna be like, yeah, Dylan ran into my room. My door was locked the whole time. She doesn't say, I only, I let Dylan in. You know what I mean?
I didn't really hear anything either. I thought they were just being like loud and making things.
Very typical.
While this is going on, Ethan's siblings had arrived and learned that their trip.
Well, I've been.
I'm good on listening to anybody's opinion. Sorry. I'm gonna play a different one. Let me move to something else really quick. To now, now Maori. Okay, so again, just to remind us, like, it's just so obvious what we're trying to hide here, and it's the communication. It's all of this communication. But why would you already feel like you had to hide it right then and there? That is really early on. I think that it would even matter to hide any of that or what time. You know what I mean? Like it would just. No. So that would be Dylan here. Good old.
You know the whenever is that?
I want to hear something really quick.
And you don't see him here right now. You see, but pretty sure he's in that room.
I think so. I think it's left hold me. I don't know for sure.
No worries. And Ethan's also U of I student.
Yes, he is.
And you don't see him here right now. You see, but pretty sure he's in that room.
I think so. I think it's left hold me. I don't know for sure.
All right, and then the 2 additional roommates that aren't here right now,
They're not.
that aren't here with you.
Yeah.
What are their names?
Maddie Mogan, MADDIEMOGEN. And then Kaylee, KAY, went downstairs.
So 4 this morning, went upstairs
Yeah.
to the way top.
Yes, to her room with Murphy the dog.
Okay.
And
And
then
then you heard Kaylee scream.
I heard her scream and run as fast as she could downstairs. And she said, someone's here.
She's
Yes, I could hear it. You can hear everything. But she had to run downstairs really fast.
You can hear everything, pretty much. Yeah, you can.
And then I heard Murphy barking a lot.
Right there.
okay.
I heard Murphy barking a lot. Okay. So think about this. Murphy doesn't start barking a lot if you go to like that's at 417. So that would be Murphy barking a lot. Somebody's here. And that's when it starts at 417.
And then I heard her going to the I think it was the bathroom. And I remember her sobbing. And I just remember
Her sobbing.
Guy's voice. And I didn't recognize saying, you're going to be okay. I'm going to help you. But it wasn't like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it wasn't in like a nice way. It was like a weird way. Like a weird tone.
Okay, so all of this is from Vampire Diaries. So then what do we believe?
You're gonna be okay. I'm gonna help you.
Yeah. So then I kept calling her name. I called on my phone. I called Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee. None of them answered. So then I opened up the door to look, and that's when I saw the guy pass by. He looked at me, but he didn't come towards me or say anything.
Okay, see how she remembers this order? She says, I called Maddie. Or I'm sorry, she says she calls everybody. And it was after she called everybody. So then when you go and you look at the timeline of the phone calls, because the order that she's putting this in it tells us, like, you cannot look away from this. If you look at the spreadsheet, okay, so if you called all these people, which was I called Xana, Kaylee, Maddie, okay, that means after calling Maddie, she's saying that she saw this person, and which is after calling Maddie's at 4:21 and 50 seconds. You guys, you cannot. That means that the person that she saw could not have been in the car that's speeding away, because the car that's speeding away is before that. She doesn't make these phone calls until 4:20, 4:20, and then 4:21 and 50 seconds. And that's calling Keely, Xana, Maddie. And from how she's saying it here, I think you got to give some shit. You have to give it its weight. And that's the weight that I would be going. And I'm going to give it its weight that all of that happened. Then you open up your door. Okay. And like you said, this person would have heard me calling their names. They would have heard me calling their phone. Okay. You're having this person still in the house when you are doing this, which is after the car has sped away. And so I'm watching the Bobo, the Holly Bobo case. Okay. And all I'm hearing is this guy asked this defense attorney, why didn't you hammer this timeline? Why didn't you hammer this timeline? Okay. It was it incompetent that you did not? And she's like, yes, it was incompetent that I didn't. She's saying, I don't know. I was overwhelmed. And so it's like hearing this stuff. And it's like, whew. And then we have no idea, like literally none. After you hear this story, okay, Maury then gets the video, access to the video, and could do whatever he wants with it.
Which was really confusing to me. I none of them answered. So then I opened up the door to look, and that's when I saw the guy pass by. He looked at me, but he didn't come towards me or say anything, which was really confusing to me. I don't understand that. And I'm pretty sure he went out the side door. And then I called, and
I'm pretty sure he went out the side door.
Said she thought maybe there was a fire or like a firework. We didn't know. We heard this.
See, and then she's saying, and then I called Bethany, and then she's telling me that she thought she heard a firecracker. Okay. And so then hear me out with this. When she's telling her story, you guys, she never says that I called Bethany. All of this happens, and it's like she's saying that Bethany was her last call. Then I call Bethany, and she's telling me about a firework. Okay. That's so important. That's so important. And she's always originally said that this started at 4:00. Okay. And then when she calls Bethany, and then Bethany she interprets all of this as Bethany is the last phone call. So think about that as well. Meanwhile, the fucking Bethany is the one that calls her.
She heard this loud noise and there was a light, I guess.
Did you hear like a pop, like a bang?
I don't know. Did you hear it bang?
It's what she heard.
Okay.
That's what she heard.
Okay, never mind. You sit there. I didn't hear that.
She didn't hear that. She didn't hear the pop, bang, flash, nothing. But she just told Mitch it was upon calling her that's when she learned about that, which would be the second phone call. And she's not saying, oh, Bethany called me. Bethany called me first. I think Dylan realized it after the fact, but soon enough to realize that if she realized that she realized that she should have been the first call to Bethany if what she saw and heard, okay, happened to the point that she's calling Xana and Kaylee, right? But here that she calls but it doesn't happen that way. Bethany calls her, and for her story to actually, like, in my opinion, be credible in that the events are surrounding Dylan and that she heard Kaylee go upstairs and go to bed and all this shit. Well, then why weren't you the phone call to Bethany? Why is Bethany calling you? And then you're just going to say, oh, hey girl, what's up? Oh my God. Yeah, everyone's fucking screaming and yelling up here. I have no idea what's going on. But she hasn't seen a masked man yet. So you would have gotten out of your room because there's no reason to be scared of anything. But then she makes it a point to say, well, no, as soon as I heard her say that there's somebody here, then I ran up to my door and I locked it because I didn't know what else to do. What?
Hey, where are you going right now?
I'm just going to.
Okay.
I don't think I ever heard of it.
626.
She has no shoes on, guys. None. No shoes on. No shoes on.
Okay.
I don't think I ever heard a bang. I didn't think anything about fire or firework.
Or
until
gunshot.
I told her. I don't think I heard anything of that, but I also was kind of in and out of it because I was scared and I was really tired. And that's when I called And I told her, I need to come to your room, because she was the only one that was answering me. So I just ran down there, and for a second I stopped and I saw Xana passed out, and I thought maybe she was just like sleeping or something. I didn't think anything because I was so out of it. And I went into the room and we just fell asleep. And then we woke up this morning and no one was waking up at all. Like, no one was answering, which was really weird, because all of us wake up around like 9 or 10. And then I called to come check, and he came here first. And I told him what happened, and then he looked in the room and he said, "You need to get out and call the cops."
Okay. The guy that you saw, and it was dark, right? Or were there lights on in the house?
I think there were lights on in the house, I believe.
Okay.
I don't really know what he looked like because he had a mask.
Dylan's light was on. Dylan's light's on right now during this conversation. Dylan's light was on.
But he wasn't like super tall.
How tall are you?
I'm 5.
Okay. For her to ever think that it was Jack Showalter blows my fucking tits off the wall. Let me tell you why. Jack Showalter is not tall. Okay. So when she goes on to say that this person was, I don't know, 5'10" to 6 foot, and this whole time she was saying that it was Jack Showalter, I don't know why she would ever think that, because Jack Showalter is not that tall. Okay. To the point that, like, if you really thought that, you would have probably asked people or asked around to say, hey, how tall is this Jack Showalter kid? Because like how I was gauging his height was like my height. And then somebody would be like, yeah, he's like 5. I mean, I swear he's short. You know, bizarre.
5'10". I think it was maybe my height an inch or two higher or lower. I can't really remember.
So about 6 foot.
I think so. Around there.
How was he built? Fat, skinny, stocky?
Lard
More
ass.
like skinny, but like basketball player kind of skinny. Like not too skinny, but like almost fit skinny in a way. That's what I think. I don't know for sure.
And then the voice, he said, when he said those words, you didn't recognize
I didn't recognize that voice at all.
you? Or?
Not tonight, but there was a
Okay. Is there anything that popped out about that event that...
Sienna and who are dating when Sienna went there. I was there for a little bit, and then I went to my friend's house down the street, and then I came back home with my friend. Everything was fine. Nothing weird at all. Nothing suspicious until 4 a.m.
Okay.
Nothing was weird at all until like 4 a.m. Until Molly dropped off the fucking DoorDash.
Somebody else will.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay. Molly, come on down. And then just want you guys to hear one more time. Within a matter of literally like an hour, Dylan says that she ran straight down and did not go back into her room, did not lock her door. Okay. And when Mallory says, oh, she's like, oh, I have no idea if the sliding door was open, closed, anything like that, because I ran straight downstairs. How does that even, what? Like, you ran straight downstairs. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Didn't you? So he calls her back and he's like, hey, where is it? Here.
She noticed this guy was following her. She got what she was getting, put it in the cart, and she could see in her mirror that the guy was behind her in the car.
Okay.
So obviously he was trying to follow her.
So obviously.
That
Go down to the front door for by people.
I mean, only people that like know us.
Doesn't sound like you knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did Kaylee ever say anything?
So there's nothing really weird up to that.
Did she see? Okay. What about Maddie and Susanna? Where did they work?
Maddie and Sam. I can't remember what it's called.
Tell me about Kaylee talking about something like that.
Yeah.
And then I heard that it was possibly you. So I just wanted to make sure that I got the right person having those kind of things. Did you hear Murphy barking or doing anything?
Yes, he was barking a lot.
Throughout the night or?
And I heard Kaylee go upstairs, he was barking a lot, and then I could tell that he was outside. I don't know how the police found him because he wasn't in the house.
Okay.
Boom.
But he was.
I don't know how the police found him because he wasn't in the house. You guys, you cannot. Dude, Dylan just talks too much. The only way that you would know that Murphy was not in the house, I have no idea how the police found him because he wasn't in the house. That means she went searching for Murphy and that Murphy wasn't in the house when she went searching for Murphy, or searching like they did when the door was wide open. They grab the golf clubs and they go around. Like they did not search. They did not go and check things out. She's totally confused as to how the police found Murphy because Murphy wasn't in the house, according to Dylan. Okay. How did you find Murphy? I have no idea how the police found Murphy. Murphy wasn't in the house. Dylan shouldn't even know anything about. Dylan should be saying things like, where did they find Murphy? Or like we had just woken up. And so like, I mean, like, it's not like Murphy came down and was trying to like wake us up or anything. Like it just, that doesn't make any sense. Again, I'll replay it.
And I heard Kaylee go upstairs, he's barking a lot, and then I could tell.
And Murphy was barking a lot when she's saying that she heard Kaylee go upstairs. Okay. So again, that's the time. She thinks that that Kaylee went upstairs around 4. Okay. Well, so now it's like, no, you heard Murphy barking when somebody was going upstairs at 4:17, at 4:15.
Tell that he was outside. I don't know how the police found him because he wasn't in the house.
Okay.
But he has a puppy, he barks, but he was barking a lot if there was someone there.
And that was
Why wouldn't she think that? Why is she thinking like Murphy was barking a lot because there was somebody there versus Murphy's barking a lot because the Murphy's owner's being attacked, or that Murphy just found, you know what I mean? Like, and then here, think about this. Why is Bethany saying to Noonan's that Maddie said that Murphy was lost? And now she's saying, I have no idea how the cops found Murphy.
at 1:32, or was that around
Like
4?
4. And everything happened.
And when he was barking,
That was like around 4 when everything happened. I'm telling you, all of these text messages they're. Mm-mm.
when you first heard him on barking after she was up there playing, did you hear him go outside, or did he start outside?
Murphy was with Kaylee when they were like dancing. They walked upstairs. He was still.
See, Murphy was with Kaylee when they were like dancing, and then they go upstairs. You guys, what? How would she know that Kaylee and Murphy are dancing in the living room? That is something you physically have to see. I could never say that, oh, right now, you guys, you're not going to believe it, but Bella's upstairs dancing with the dog that we don't have. The fuck? I cannot say that. You'd have to see that. I could say, I'm hearing, I don't know, Kaylee was like playing music. I hear her singing. And I mean, we saw Murphy when they're doing their dances on TikTok. Murphy's not barking when that's happening. Murphy's, I mean, what?
with her, And then when she yelled, someone's here, he started barking in the house. And then I believe the slider door was open, and I think he went out that way.
I believe the sliding glass door was open. Now think about this. For her to even know about this yet, it's not like she saw the news and the door is open. Okay, how would she know that the sliding glass door is open? How would you know that? You cannot see. Aunt Taylor was going to get her on this. You cannot physically see that glass door from her bedroom. You have to literally go from her bedroom into that kitchen in order to see that that glass door was open.
Because I could tell, like, when she yelled, someone's here, he started barking in the house. And then I believe the slider door was open, and I think he went out that way because I could tell, like, the sound of his barking was getting, like, more distant.
Do you think that Murphy would have went after him, wherever he was?
Maybe, but I mean, he's a puppy. He doesn't fully know that yet.
No, he would just be, if anything, probably playing with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
When the guy in black left, did he close the slider or did he leave it open?
I don't know. I just ran downstairs.
Right there. Got her again. I don't know. I just ran downstairs. So you didn't go to your room and lock the door and then listen to this and then text Dylan or text Bethany, hey, all that texting that we just talked about. And now I'm going to go down there. Hey, run down here now. Okay. Like right there, he asks, does he close the slider? It should just be, I have no idea. Does he close the slider? I didn't see him leave. You know what I mean? And she says, but what she says here, though, contradicts what she said to Noonan's.
Correct.
Know that yet?
No, he would just be, if anything, probably playing.
And the reason I think it all contradicts each other is because she did this multiple times. She went upstairs and went and searched around multiple times. She left her bedroom and went and searched around multiple times. So she doesn't know which one is which. But they're like, she 100%, in my opinion, saw everybody everywhere because that's their normal thing. Their normal thing is to go check it out. Like that's what they do. They're in their own home. And she went and checked it out. But when if you're doing something multiple times, and it's the same thing, then you don't know. Like with her story, she's just trying to make it seem like she only did this once. That's why they added in this whole thing. Like you open the door one time, 2 time, 3 time. No, there's no 1 time, 2 time, 3 time.
And I think he went out that way because I could tell, like, the sound of his barking was getting, like, more distant.
The only way you could tell if the sound of his barking is getting more distant, okay, is where were you when the dog was barking? I was in my room. Well, okay, but then you go downstairs and the dog barked until fucking 5 o'clock in the morning and you went downstairs by 4:23. You know, like.
Do you think that Murphy would have went after him, wherever he was?
Maybe, but I mean, he's a puppy. He doesn't fully know that yet.
No, he would just be, if anything, probably playing with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
When the guy in black left, did he close the slider or did he leave it open?
I don't know. I just ran downstairs.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Anything else?
I don't know. I just ran downstairs, down to Bethany's room. I have no idea if you closed the slider. Well, there's going to have to be a lot of rehabilitation on that, redirect, because Aunt Taylor was going to go ham on that. Aunt Taylor was going to say that, okay, well, you said that after you saw him that you went straight back into your room and then you locked the door. And then you started texting with Bethany. Right? Okay, so you didn't run straight downstairs? I don't, and then earlier said that you thought that he went out the sliding glass door.
I just ran downstairs.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, anything else?
Not that I
Popped
can
up?
think of.
All
No.
right, I'm gonna go talk to my guys who've done the other interviews
Okay.
and see if anybody's got questions, so that we can kind of start putting more pieces together.
Okay, do you see this angle? Do you see this angle right here? Okay, ready? See this angle? Well, we have an issue. Everybody's angle in their interview that we've had from day the 13th is this angle, except for Bethany. Bethany, why don't we have this type of an angle for this camera? And why do we have to have it from Blaker's stupid ass camera? Why can't we have the actual interrogation video? So we're trying to see if that exists. The same thing with Josie. You know, they want to say that Josie's audio doesn't work. It's because Josie's fucking audio is no. I believe Josie's audio is not. I think it's explosive. I think it's very, very explosive. Doesn't matter if it's a different room. They still have these cameras up here. You're putting them in an interrogation room, in an interview room. You're going to have these cameras up here. So why? I even think there's a camera over here to the right, up top. This is just wild. So she just runs downstairs right away. Josie's on a vacation for Anyways. Let's bring in a new spreadsheet I'm working on is I think it's this one. I think we can look at this. Yeah, okay. All right. We are working on every single interview and who belongs to, but we are working on if they knew about the masked man or not. So in the interview, does somebody say that so-and-so, like, did they hear the telephone story? Okay. And then did they take an Uber ride? You know, their age, what have you. And then the most significant thing about their interview, because I want to be able to see who all heard this story, which is the interview, or it's the the masked man. Like, and then now Homeland Security. Remember Dylan talked about Homeland Security. I want to point this out. There was the Homeland Security Task Force, and that's Sage Collins. And so they were in on it originally. So when Dylan was interviewed on December 1st by FBI and Homeland Security, it's these people. I'm willing to put money on that it was Sage Collins. Now, oh, I think I was able to. I think I know who this is. This is Jensen. Yeah. So what I'm also doing is based off of the powers that be. I'm able to start filling in who I think these people are. And where their interviews were, you know, taking place. Like, everyone's being interviewed at people's homes and shit. Like, Adam was interviewed at Adam's house, and then Adam's girlfriend was interviewed at her house. Adam's girlfriend's roommate was interviewed at ISP. It could potentially be at her home as well. See, home. Like, look at this shit. Home, like Showalter and Cole, they were interviewed at their house. Okay. Um, right here. We start getting into somebody was like, hey, we need to make sure that we're having these interviews, probably not at people's houses, right? So after the 17th, like Dylan was interviewed at her home. Look at Leslie here. Leslie was out there going and getting neighborhood canvases, but doesn't write her report until the 30th. Anyways. Okay, this person right here knew Xana for 2.5 years, talks about drugs, and that she knew Xana did drugs. This is Cole's roommate. One of Jack D's roommates was super drunk. He's from Star, Idaho. He got a ride home with Jack D. Again, really drunk, made some pizza rolls, bad pizza rolls. He had no info, and I believe he didn't have a girlfriend. We're still looking into that, but who's the one girl that gave? Where's the chain link fence? Yeah, okay. I really want to talk to the girl that said I had a bad feeling, and so I did not go home with them from the corner club. Remember that? Yeah. Now this person right here. This person is an ex-roommate that used to live at the house 11122. And Dylan told her, this person talked to Dylan and said that she woke up to Kaylee playing music and that she wished that she would stop playing music at 4 a.m. That she went downstairs because someone might be in her house. Like, that's what's in the report. And so she's saying that she woke up and she's talking about that music was being played and Kaylee was playing this music and that she really wished that she would stop playing the music because she wanted to go to sleep. And then that's when I was like, this is Ashley Banfield's. So this person here, this one right here, report with a 25-year-old. Yes. I believe that that's Ashley, one of Ashley Banfield's sources, because that's what Ashley Banfield came out with. Then this person, Dylan tells this past roommate of the 1122 King Road house that Ethan and Xana came home before Maddie and Kaylee came home. That Dylan woke up because Kaylee was playing music at 4 a.m. Okay. Now they don't do, again, this is just with the notes, but I have to actually hear these people to see how this all played out. Again, the person right before that is a 1122 past resident with Maddie the year before. She FaceTimed with Maddie while she was at Corner Club, and this girl was in Boise. She saw Maddie's boyfriend, Jake. She had a picture, and so she gave it to the detectives. Yeah. This person, I believe, was going to be huge for Ann Taylor, and that's Braden Jensen. And it was because his girlfriend went to the Corner Club with Kaylee and Maddie. And then they heard the dog going berserk, barking for 45 minutes. So by cross-referencing everybody, this is how we can kind of figure out some shit. Also, another big thing to point out. This girl that was interviewed, again, I can only go off of the report because I didn't hear it yet. Right here. Okay. This girl, whoever was interviewed by the Homeland Security Task Force team, provided a screenshot of her friend's Snap story, okay? And it was at 2 a.m. There was a photo of Xana playing guitar uploaded. I have to remind everybody, though, that does not mean that that pic was actually taken at the time. It's just, it had to have been like You have to actually look a little closer. So, but this girl is also the person that gives the name of the drug / Adderall provider. This is the girl, whoever this is, and she's 20 years old and report 20. And she was, yeah. She's the one. And I thought it was interesting that it was the first interview with the Homeland Task Force peeps. And she provided a screenshot of her friend's Snap story that showed Xana in a photo at 2 a.m. that was uploaded to the story. Again, you can upload stuff to your story that are from past pictures in your camera roll. So you'd have to do a little bit more digging to make sure that that was actually Xana at 2 a.m. But that's where they were gauging that Xana was at Sigma Chi still at 2 a.m. And I'm like, that's a pretty fucked up way to do it. You got to do better than that. Anyways. So. Rest in peace, Tommy TJ. Yes. Watching from the UK. Remember for 45 months? Oh my God, that gets a bell. Ring my bell. Look out. Susan, thank you so much. B is for Becca. $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. Becca, look out. I come here for the excellence, the excitement, and laughs. That's good. That's good. What else do you guys have? What else do you want to know? I'm trying to think. I had a list of things. I think I covered everything I wanted to talk about, which was Eric went back over there 3 times. Full of shit. Oh, I think I mentioned this earlier though, but there's so many interesting things. Hit that thumbs up. Yeah. Wouldn't the Wi-Fi connection tell us exactly when Xana got back home? Oh, I'll tell you about that Wi-Fi connect. Let's talk about something else. Yes and no. I would love to know if you could connect to your Wi-Fi if you're at the Whites. I would love to know how far that would go. I think you'd have to do some testing. Okay, after going to bed, there's a dude that says after he went to bed, he had been asleep for approximately an hour or so when he was awoken by a vehicle with loud exhaust speeding away down the street past his house. He assumed it was a white Audi that parks near his house quite frequently and has a loud aftermarket exhaust. The Audi, normally parks near the cul-de-sac on the end of King Road. He believed it would have occurred between 3 and 4:30 a.m. That's a big gap, 3 and 4:30, but was unsure since he did not check his clock. After the vehicle traveled past his house, he believed the vehicle turned onto Taylor Avenue going east. By the way, the sound of the vehicle was coming from. And now that is off the chain. Why is it off the chain? Well, because this was hidden from Ann Taylor for a long time until August 3rd of 2023. And because if this was... if the person's actually going away and he thinks it's between 3 and 4:30 and it's the speeding exhaust, car and something just flew right by it, whatever. They think that Brian went out Walenta and this is putting it going Taylor. So there's that. I don't know. Did you guys know that anywhere that you're located when you are in Moscow, that you are going to be, if you're AT&T, that the towers provide service to everywhere. So if you're shopping, you would be, I'm on the same towers as what services the King Road House. I mean, that's a fact now. If all these people who knew them heard the dog barking for so long, why did they not call or text them like, what the fuck, dude, your dog is barking? Yes. I'm surprised nobody called the police. You know, noise complaints. So Bethany left her out there when she heard the noise. When did she leave the house completely for that evening or early morning? What? I don't understand that question. So Eric is a piece of shit, I agree, but his interview made me think he was on it. On it? On what? I want to know if anybody called in Emma Bailey as a tip. All right, guys, it's getting late. It's 10. Getting old. Listen, all I can tell you is that you need to watch the. Look at this. I'm just gonna play a little snippet of the Holly. Yeah. 1 day ago. Let's see if this works. No, didn't want to do that. Just regular.
Under 613B, if all the following conditions are met.
Terry Britt and all the different search warrants he had done for all the different people that he had sworn.
Okay, so this is this dude's old defense attorney. Listen to this part.
On oath that they were guilty.
Okay, listen.
In this house. Opinion, here's your prior opinion.
Gosh, I should have. I don't know why I didn't say that.
You had Terry Britt on a wiretap being told there might be a wire on in this house.
So with the search warrants, I mean, I did bring up the fact that he had done hundreds of search warrants, and I did ask Brent Booth about that, but I should have gone through them each one and said, you know, you at one point said it was the Bobo family, and you at one point said it was Terry Britt, and all the different search warrants he had done for all the different people that he had sworn on oath that they were guilty. I should have been much more organized and laid things down like that in a solid. I should have just gone through one by one by one and just shown how the state had changed their theory of the case so many times. But, you know, it was hot in the courtroom. First of all, it was very hot those weeks. The jury was sweating. The judge kept saying, let's speed it along. Let's move it along. Let's get going. And
did you ever make this point? Sheila Kilzer has a phone call. It reshapes the investigation. Culminates in death penalty being requested after Dylan provides a 4-hour statement that's not true. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we're supposed to trust this last round of TBI's effort. Did you ever make that point?
not clearly, no.
Did you ever ask any state agent, tell me where the cell phone and the body was separated of Miss Bobo?
Exactly.
No.
Did you ever do the timeline of Jason Autry showing up at Shane Austin's house 20 to 30 minutes after the phone call at 8:52 and ask if Dylan's there with his shirt off the entire time, how is he taking the cell phone along the route that ends at Gooch Creek?
You know, I thought our cell phone expert was going to make that point, but clearly the expert didn't make those points.
You have
the
to ask
jury,
the question.
Clear enough for the jury to believe it.
Did you have a demonstrative aid, however crudely designed?
No.
Ready for this?
The expert doesn't get to just pontificate. You got to ask questions, right?
Thank you.
Yes.
Did you ask questions to go through the rest of the morning to say, the state wants you to believe at 8:52 they have no idea what to do with the body after pulling off a crime that has escaped investigation. So they have to bring in Autry to drive to the river only to just come back. And at that point, they say, well, that didn't work. Let's go to Sonic. Leave the body at Shane's house knowing the satellite installer's coming. Did you ever work through this with the jury?
No.
Did you ever say for years TBI thought Holly was alive for several days?
Right?
No.
It was a.
Did you subpoena the prosecutors and say, what are you going to give Jason Autry for this testimony?
No.
You asked for it in your Brady motion, didn't you?
Yes. Mike Scholl had told me what Jason expected to get.
What was it?
Little or no additional time past his federal sentence, which is what he got.
Did you ask Mr. Autry how many years are you willing to receive for your testimony?
No.
Mr. Autry repeatedly, when confronted with something, he would say, if your records show that.
Reflect, yes.
If your records reflect that. Did you ever ask, who told you to say that?
No.
Did you ever ask Mr. Autry, what was it like sitting through waiting trial for a death penalty case you didn't do?
No, I didn't ask him that on trial.
There were statements Zach made, correct?
Yes, there were statements that Zach made.
Did you talk with him about Zach? Did you talk with Zach about them?
No, Jim Simmons, I think, talked with Zach about the statements.
Did Zach tell you he wanted to testify?
Watch this.
I don't remember that.
Do you remember
Do you
talking to the
remember?
news?
Wait. Do you remember talking to the news? You guys check this out. This is one of my favorite parts.
For the verdict?
Not exactly. I remember that I walked outside and made some statements to the reporters, which was really about the first time I'd made any statements.
This gets good.
Did you ever prepare Zach to testify?
No.
Why not?
Ready?
Well, because there were some accusations that Zach had tried to rape his stepsister.
What?
And I thought if we got him on the stand, those accusations were going to come in.
Well, isn't that prior by?
Did you discuss it with Zach?
What?
No.
Do you ever allow your clients to testify?
Not usually.
How many clients have you allowed to testify?
Oh, maybe just one.
How many trials?
Many.
Y'all need to start changing your strategies.
How can you make a decision as to the wisdom of the client testifying if you don't see how he does in preparing him?
Well, I guess I made the decision based on the fact that these accusations, which I did not believe were out there, and I didn't want them to come in.
How would they come in? How would they ever come
That's
in?
the only reason.
Well, also, Zach was a little methy. Even still then,
She said Zach was a little methy. What? She said methy. Molly was a little methy. Can you imagine? She explains it, but guys, I fell over. I said, what? Zach was a little methy, like methy. Like, Molly, you do meth? Methy. Zach was a little methy, so I didn't testify. He had been in jail for how long? What do you mean he was a little methy? I thought at first she said he was a little messy, and I was like, wait, what did she just? Methy, you guys, I'll play it again. Listen to this breakdown. This is for Zach Adams to get a new trial, which I think he's gonna get. Okay, I lost my shit. Hey guys, if she can be a lawyer, I can be a lawyer. This is crazy. Listen to this little methy. That's so methed up for you to say.
well, also, Zach was a little methy. Even still then, he's not the man he is today.
Messy?
You had been advised in these proceedings that there was shared in discovery a video from the ATM machine
No.
in the post-conviction proceeding.
Oh, yes. I've now know that the state knew that there was a video of the ATM machine.
And did I ask you to follow the file path that was provided in a motion by General Boyano to find us?
Yes. Yes.
And-
So on my Pegasus hard drive that I have, that was several $1,000s. I pulled it out, fired it up, and went through the process and followed the path that you said it would be to open up the video.
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to open the file path from BP 413?
No, I could not get it open.
And did you take a screenshot of what your computer had? You can look at the document been passed.
This is so good.
I guess I did.
Of course you did.
And did you send it to me?
I guess I did.
You guess? You don't know?
But recently, I mean, I did it just very recently too.
Let me ask this. Would it help you remember when you possibly sent this if you saw the email to my office?
Yes.
I'm going to pass the witness this. Just look at it and then provide it back to the court officer, please.
This poor guy's been in prison for what?
Yes.
8 years. 9
Provide
years?
it back to the court officer. And what date was the email?
April 25th, maybe 2025.
And what's the date on the install this first to view on the far right?
Oh. April 3rd, maybe.
Okay. And is this what you,
Yes, this
All right.
is the screenshot of it.
Your Honor, I move to enter this next numbered exhibit.
No. But I recently also got,
Yeah. You recently what?
I recently, just days ago, got out the hard drive again, turned it on, fired it up, and tried to open the file on the Mac. It wouldn't open on the Mac, but then I made a copy of it to a thumb drive, took it over to my computer, installed the software on my hard drive like it says to install the software. The software went on and still couldn't open the files.
It was labeled, what is it labeled on this?
V8 or something like that.
But what's the
What was the
Individual date.
Yeah.
The individual number.
I don't know. I lost my copy. Hang on.
what was the name of the piece of evidence?
Oh gosh, this is not a good copy.
What are the letters by the number?
BP, so it's labeled BP, BP 4-15.
And in the file path, what is it labeled that it's from?
This is how they were turning over Discovery.
I can't tell,
Okay.
but I think it looked like it was video from the BP store.
If it was, did you ever, let me just like that. Did you ever see the file path ATM?
No. There was some bank footage that they provided, and I did go through the bank footage and try to watch it and see if I could see Zach coming through an ATM, but it didn't clearly show the ATM, and I didn't see Zach come through.
What, you could look behind you.
Which exhibit is it?
Exhibit 8, Your Honor.
Show the screen. Thank you. Okay. Look at the, here we go.
Do you remember seeing this video, Ms. Thompson?
4/13/2011.
This video right here doesn't seem to show anything.
Okay. Do you remember seeing it?
Oh wait, right there. That's what I wanted.
Do you remember seeing it?
There we go. That's what we got here. Exhibits. Okay, good. I just wanted to get a picture of that. I'll come back to it.
Hold on one second. Do you remember watching this video?
Oh, see this? Oh, ATM. That's ATM
Not
view.
Specifically,
Okay.
is it the video from the bank?
Uh,
I can't answer questions.
See these cars coming through the ATM camera?
It seems like it's a video from the bank where it's showing the road and showing cars driving up to the bank teller window.
Where was that at?
Did you change computers or hardware at any time leading up to your representation?
No, I had a Windows computer in my office.
So in March and April of 2017, when you attend, or 2025, this year when you attempted to open, is it because you had a new computer, a new system?
Well, I did get a switch over to Windows computer years ago.
Okay. And if you could turn around. Do you ever remember seeing, prior to these post-conviction proceedings, this photo?
No.
Do you?
Which is a still shot of that exhibit. We marked it as a long exhibit.
Unbelievable.
101.
Unfucking believable.
If you had the timestamp of 11/12 of that photo, would you have used it in a jury trial regarding the timeline the state sought the jury to believe?
Yes, that's an alibi, partial alibi for the time that the state says he was committing the murders.
Did you have photos of that Silverado from being impounded by the state?
Yes.
This is unfucking believable.
You testified you were competent and diligent as an attorney in 2014,
Yes.
2015,
Yes.
2016,
Yes.
2017.
I think 2017 things began to change.
This is
Were
why
you competent and effective at the trial in September of 2017?
I don't think so. I think that I was still trying very hard. But I think there was so much material, and I was the only one working with it. I was the only one doing the trial. And even if I had wanted to pull something up and play something for the jury, it would have been a monumentous task for me to find it in the discovery. One of the things that the state did is they would come up and they would present the witness with a piece of paper and say, here's this. And I would say, what is that she's handing him? And she said, well, she got it in the discovery, Your Honor. Well, I got 4 terabytes the first day. The first day they gave me discovery, I got 4 terabytes. And then they kept adding on and on and on to that. So I wasn't able to pull things in trial and show them. I was barely able to cross-examine witnesses. And it's not because I wasn't trying or I wasn't a good attorney. It was because the situation that I was plopped down into, and with the judge being so rough on me and the state being so ugly to me, it made it impossible for me to be my normal zealous self.
Ms. Thompson, do you agree that a competent attorney has to get past sometimes the state's mean to you?
Right, that sounds kind of babyish, but the state was so ugly when I would make objections, and so ugly in front of the jury, I was worried that they were poisoning the jury against me.
You knew this was a voluminous case in 24 when you received discovery.
Sure.
You knew you were going to a dense trial.
Yes.
You knew the important witnesses, did you not?
I did.
One of the Jason Autry testified that he remembered in 2017 driving and seeing a man mow his yard. Remember that?
Yes.
Did you remember you had an IR?
I knew we'd had an IR to that effect.
Did you bring it to the jury's attention?
No.
Why not?
I don't know.
You knew Victor Dinsmore was an important witness.
Yes.
You knew Rebecca Earp.
Yes.
Did you remember Rebecca Earp was threatened with prosecution?
Yes. And that threatened that they would take her baby away from her if she didn't tell the truth.
Did you ever tell the judge right before the continuance, Judge, I'm upping my dosage of antidepressants?
No.
What?
And when I said the state was mean to me, I mean, that's not, people being mean to me is not a reason. But over time, just the continuous, when they threatened to put me in jail is really when things kind of changed.
Why didn't you withdraw then?
Well,
Judge, they're trying to put me in jail.
What? They threatened to put her in
because
jail.
I thought if I withdrew, judge was just going to put on some other attorney that would come in and plead Zach guilty. And I knew Zach was not guilty.
You thought you were the only attorney that could help Zach.
I thought Judge McGinley was not going to appoint a fiery attorney to represent Zach. And I believe that's true.
Were you a fiery attorney to the jury?
Not at that point.
In hindsight, do you think this should have been your first death penalty case?
Well, I think the death penalty didn't come into it much.
You don't think it impacted jury selection?
She's like, I gave up during voir dire.
And
Here's the good
did-
part.
Opened that practice in what year?
This is now cross-examination of her.
1998.
Before that, you worked as a computer programmer. Is
What?
that correct?
Before law school, I did.
Before law school. For how many years?
Maybe 6.
Okay. So you worked in the professional world and then went to law school.
Right.
All right. Graduated with high honors, law
Yes.
school, correct? And I'm going to show you on the screen there something, if you could turn around, see if you recognize it. Is that your website?
Looks like it.
All right. Is that a fairly recent new website?
Looks like it, yes.
Okay. And when you scroll down, it says your professional activities. You're a member of many organizations, correct?
Yes.
Board member, correct? Not engaged in the case.
Okay,
He
525.
doesn't say anything. You remember that?
No, but that's probably how he was acting at the time. He was kind of methy.
It's kind of methy. You're smiling when you say that. Is that
Wait, we gotta hear this. Ready? Here's the question. Like, again, this is cross-examination.
the case?
I can't remember now.
Okay.
Okay, here's the question.
You mentioned that the defendant was not really saying much. In fact, do you remember telling Brad McClain, I get along fine with Zach Adams. He's not engaged in the case. He doesn't say anything. You remember that?
No, but that's probably how he was acting at the time. He was kind of methy.
It's kind of methy. You're smiling when you say that. Is that he's kind of methy?
Yeah.
You mean he was still on meth even though he was in prison?
No, I mean, his brain was still affected by meth and he wasn't thinking like he does today.
Gotcha. Okay. Who's Marjorie Fargo?
I think she was the jury expert.
Okay. Do you remember telling her he has no short-term memory because of all the drugs he's done?
I don't remember specifically saying that.
Did you put together any other focus groups besides the one you don't remember?
I remember the focus group. I just don't specifically remember what we said.
Okay. You solicited help from NACDL, correct? The National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers?
From people in NACDL.
Yes. But contacts that you had within NACDL.
Yes, I did.
You solicited help from law schools for
Yes, I did.
interns? At one point, you were trying to get a large firm to hop on board with you, correct? Remember that?
Yes, I'm not sure if that was for the trial or for,
Let's go back to this where she talks about this.
You know proof of that.
He is.
I do have proof of that.
Do
He
you have-
testified.
The objection is sustained to the way the witness is answering, so I'll let you rephrase or ask more specific questions.
What makes you say Jason Autry had the discovery?
Well, because he was giving Rita Austin and Jimmy Austin he was showing them pieces of his discovery, printed material that he had.
How does she know this, John? Is it based on hearsay? Did she witness it? Again, it's speculation.
I did research.
speculation, it's just that it's subject to suspect.
Jason Autry testified at trial that he had some of the discovery in his cell.
Did you see Mr. Scholl's motion to continue in August of 2016?
Yes, I'm sure I did.
I appreciate her because she's being so honest. Okay. And it matters. She's like saying, like, yeah, like she's doing the right thing. She's going to get this man a new fair trial. Okay. She's not going in here and saying, I was the fucking best thing since sliced bread and blah, blah, blah. Well, the reason I think this is amazing to hear is guess what was said yesterday from the fucking prosecutor? The prosecutor, this bitch, special prosecutor, had the balls to get in this courtroom yesterday and talk about what a great attorney this woman was and that she knew the case better than I did, in quotes. And I can't believe I even want to say that because, you know, I don't want to really want to even be admitting this, but like she knew the case better than I did. She knew every little integral thing. Da, 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 da. And then this broad comes the next day talking about how she doesn't know dick. And so it's like, oh, well, if she knew the case better than you, then you didn't know the case at all. You know, like, but these people are sick. This prosecutor's a sick motherfucker. This woman at least is owning her shit. She's owning it. She's like, yeah, I fucking sucked. Like, I sucked. I sucked big dick. And the thing is that I actually believe that he was innocent. And she makes a really good point when she says, I was not prepared for these people to lie the way that they did. She's like, what you do expect is, hey, that they're going to have a consistent statement that the state's going to at least prep with them at least some point, say, hey, this is what you said last time. You know, this is what you need to, you're going to be sticking to your story, right? Well, here she says, she's like, these people came in and the state is allowing them to testify to complete shit. Like it's inconsistent from what it was before. She's like, and I wasn't prepared to like think that the state's going to allow all of this. Right. And now it's a lie from before. Now they're saying this now. So she wasn't prepared to show those inconsistent statements because she wasn't prepared for them to lie then again a different way. And I thought that, and I know what that's like. Holy shit. You know what I mean? Like I've been there and I'm just like, yes, it's because you never think that they're that stupid to do it. Right. Like, but then they do it. But then what's crazy, which I think is more crazy is that the state knows that they're committing perjury. They committed perjury the last time. Okay. Or they're committing perjury now. And these fucking prosecutors, they don't give a fuck. It's all about, hey, this is my case and I'm going to win my case. How anybody can literally sit here, and this judge, I believe, is going to give this man a new trial. But this isn't, you're supposed to be colleagues, right? It's like watching in a courtroom. Who the fuck do these lawyers think that they are? The game is starting 0-0. These prosecutors think that they get to start 50-0, 35, 14-10. And then they just cheat the whole way through the game. They think this is a game. And here they're starting with a 21-point spot. Like, it's fucking sick. And it happens every fucking day, man. And here, you can say whatever you want about this woman, but God damn it. All right, Baldwin, you're going to be in this chair. You better say the same shit to fucking get Rick Allen a new trial because you guys sucked dick. I was there in person. Y'all fucking sucked. Okay. You should be embarrassed. Okay. You did exactly what this woman did. And it was out chasing all this fucking shit all over the place versus just saying, here, this is what the state is. These are their witnesses and this is what they're going to say. And we need to we need to show that they're lying. We need to be prepared for these inconsistent statements. We need to go ahead and push this out here. What's their theory of the case? And then when they try to switch it in the middle of it, we're on it. We're not going to let that happen. We're gonna nail this timeline down. They're off in fucking Odinland, and they're still off in Odinland. Great. Richard Allen, by God, is innocent as hell. But they better take the stand like this and do this type of shit.
They've given us a witness list
Right.
of 200 something witnesses that
There it
they
is.
said would testify. And these people had names I didn't even recognize. And I could sit down and search in the discovery and not find their names because it was not OCR. And so we were desperately trying to figure out who these witnesses were going to be. So instead of doing my witness prep like I should have done and sat down and thought about each witness and what I was going to bring in and what evidence I was going to put in, how I was going to get it in, how I was going to cross-examine them, I was out looking at these new materials. They gave us lab reports shortly before
I personally think that Ann Taylor is in the same boat.
trial. So all these materials were fresh to me, and I was desperately trying to digest them.
And I've handed you the motion to continue. Is this your motion?
It looks like it.
And who argued this motion?
I don't remember.
And you attached the various complaints you had about discovery in an affidavit.
It looks like it.
Your Honor, I'd like to make this the next numbered exhibit.
Yes. All right, Mrs. Zachary, your item is motion to continue the trial. August the 8th,
Oh my God.
17th.
Yes, Your Honor. And the motion was denied.
Yes.
Were you ready for the trial?
No. I still thought, up until the day of trial, I still thought we were going to ask for another continuance, and I was hoping we were going to be granted an additional continuance.
At this time, had you communicated to
For her to say there was 200 people on a witness list, and some of these people, I didn't even know who the fuck they were. Since Brian Colbert has taken a plea deal, and we finally got like, hey, give me the witness lists, okay? Let's take a look at these witness lists. I know for a fact Ann Taylor at least had her shit together that way, because it was kind of like the whole Alan Jackson, like they knew who their witnesses were, okay? I think that Alan Jackson and them probably within like day, maybe 3-4, saw that, okay, what's his name's going a different route for the second child with Karen Reed. But I don't think there were any surprises except maybe one in the Delphi case, and they should have caught that, and they should have went ham on the whole. Dude, they opened the door so many times in the Delphi case, it's not even funny. And they made they were all scared. Let the bitch say no. Who cares? Say no to me all fucking day. I get that. I know that feeling of like, yeah, you don't want to like keep looking like an idiot in front, like to the judge and the jury. Like, I totally get that. But to hear that from like a veteran attorney saying that stuff, I would have said that, sidebarred that, and said that to him. I would like you have to have some confidence enough to like say that you are, this is unprofessional in front of the jury to hear this. Okay. Make it known.
Zach that you did not feel prepared?
No.
Did you communicate to him that your mental health was declining?
No.
Did you communicate to the court there still are these videos of an ATM that nobody has seemed to have found?
Probably not, because at that point I thought that the videos didn't exist. They had converted to a new company and that the system had been wiped out.
Had you talked at this point to U.S. Marshal John Walker?
Yes, I had. I
When
think.
did you talk with him?
I don't remember.
Do you remember meeting with him during the trial?
Yes. Well, I have a vague memory of it.
Okay. Had you met with him before trial began?
I'm not sure I had met with him before trial began.
What was your understanding of Marshal Walker's?
Cell phone tracking for the Marshal Service. So when somebody would disappear, they'd run off and you couldn't find them and they had a federal case. He would go in and he had secret methods, which he wasn't going to disclose. He would go in, search their phone and figure out where they were. He could do it kind of by figuring out what road they were on or what area they're most likely to be in. And he had said, made a report that said that Holly was most likely going to be found above north of the cell phone tower where she was found. She was found north of the cell phone tower. And he said she most likely had been in that area.
Do you remember seeing, I'm going to project Exhibit 5 on the screen behind you?
I think so.
All right. Do you remember discussing it with John Walker before his testimony?
I don't have a clear memory of it, no.
Were you drinking alcohol when you met with Marshal Walker?
I don't think so, but I can't say for sure.
Did you drink alcohol the nights after court?
No, I didn't have any alcohol during trial.
I
I don't think so.
What the fuck? Oh my god. The fuck out of here. I fucking, like I said, I love her. I love her. Tell me you don't want to hire this broad. Like, girl, can you come pro hack over here? Like, girl, I'll take your ass. Come on, let's go to a case together. I want her on my fucking channel. We will have wine every night, girl. Cheers, Saki. Sweet Saki, sweetheart. Sock it to me. I don't think so. I don't.
What was your understanding of the significance of determining the route Marshal Walker surmised Miss Bobo's body and cell phone went on?
Well, he had come up with streets, and I think he had worked with Terry Dykes and AT&T, and they had come up with streets that they thought was most likely that Holly had been taken on and driven, and that her phone had stopped in an area where her body was eventually found, but her phone had pinged in that area.
You remember what time?
What?
Do you remember what time the phone was stagnant?
About 8:30, but I don't have a clear memory.
And
You're drunk all the time.
don't believe we have printed Exhibit 5.
Jude.
Could the witness be passed? Do we have it?
Unreal, right? Okay. I added up all the super chats, super stickers. Let's see.
6.
Is it like that?
Anyways, this is what I think is coming for the Delphi case. But I think that, yeah. She should have asked her if she drank before she took the stand. You guys, it's absolutely wild. But I'm telling you what's even more wild is you listen to the prosecutor, the special prosecutor that testified yesterday, and just she's a snarky fucking cunt. Listen, I want to know what is Holly Bobo's parents, like, what are they thinking right now when they're seeing and hearing this? But I think that Andy Baldwin would have so much grace and he'd be the same as this broad, She says they had no trial strategy. There's no trial strategy. She had a board before. Let's see. 29. 90. Okay.
You see it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Ms. Thompson, do you understand the significance of the direction of travel from the Swan Johnson Road being clockwise up to the no activity where her remains were found?
I think I did.
What was it?
Well, that she was traveling north and a little west of her home, and that, and I drove those roads myself, and that she was not where Zach Adams' phone was.
Do you remember, did you believe there was significance in her death occurring between 8:26 and 8:56 where her remains were found?
Yes, I believe there was significance there.
In your opinion, what was the significance?
That she had been taken there, whatever happened to her had happened there, and that she was killed there and left there. And that then the person that took her, Terry Britt, as he was driving back, he was throwing things out of his car window. He drove back a different way, and he was throwing things out of his car window that had belonged to Holly.
And the last ping of Holly's phone was at 9:25 where the lunchbox and other things were found. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Did you understand the importance of qualifying Mr. Walker, Marshall Walker, as an expert?
Yes. I mean, I thought it was important that he testified to that.
And what were the words you attempted to qualify him as?
I don't remember.
Remember attempting to qualify him?
Objection, Your Honor, deleted.
All right, objection sustained.
I remember we tried to get him.
All right, hold on. The question that was asked was objected to, sustained. So I'm
Okay.
asking another question.
I remember trying to ask him. I'm sorry.
Can I ask you a question? The question that was asked, the objection is sustained.
What do you
I'm
remember?
allowed to answer that question. You can ask another question.
What do you remember?
I remember trying to have him testify about these cell phone records and not being able to get his testimony in.
Did you ask Judge McGinley to tender him as a tracking 2G expert?
Probably not.
Objection, Your Honor, deleted.
All right, I'm going to allow this question. Objection overruled.
All right, there you guys go. Go check it out. It's an absolute mess. But cheers to all of us. Thank you everybody that donated to Tommy's funeral GoFundMe fundraiser. So tonight's episode was all 100% donations. And then I was just going to match whatever it was. So in terms of covering what YouTube would take. And it was 210. So we will be giving 210. I'll double check my math as I was doing it while watching this. So I'll double check everything. But you can check all of that in the Tommy Jude has a GoFundMe for his funeral for his family had started one for his funeral costs and things like that. So that's what we'll be donating to, and it'll be under TNT Crew, with a little message. So thank you so much. Prayers to Tommy's family, and you better be rocking out up there with your cock out. Rock out with your cock out, jam out with your clam out. Thank you guys very much for joining me tonight. Again, Idaho4 phones, barks, and growers bullshit. You could check all of the Idaho stuff is in the beginning, and then here at the end was just to go and show you that, you know, was watching this the past couple days, and it literally made me think about, you know, Sheldon's case. I mean, all the cases that we cover here on this channel, and we can say whatever we want about this defense attorney here. She came here, she was testifying, and as far as I can see her, I mean, I think she's being 100% truthful, brutally honest, and she wants that man to get a new trial, and she will be saying, and she is doing it, that she's incompetent. She should have been doing these other things, and she didn't, and she doesn't know why she didn't, and she was trying to explain some of the reasons. I mean, at the end of the day, I hope that young man gets a new trial. What is the Venmo for Tommy? I don't know what his Venmo is. I'm sorry. I don't know. But you guys all rock. Much love. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night. I'll share his GoFundMe in my community tab if that helps. Thank you. Peace out. Thank you, mods. Appreciate you guys. Members, subscribers. Thumbs it up, share it, hype it, whatever it is the fuck's going on nowadays. Or thumbs it down. You have an opinion. Make yourself known.